Check. Check, check, check. Having some technical difficulties today. Apparently it's too close to the holidays. Let's see if I can get this show on the road here. All right, nobody click stop streaming this time. Hopefully 1 minute here. I'm just getting confirmation that I'm broadcasting. And that's an ad. Thank you, Google. Check, check, sound check. Check, check. All right, we've got confirmation show. Confirmation show, as if somebody's named Show here. Welcome to TDD.Academy. I'm your host, Lance Rokine, and over there is solopreneur, David Kuntz. David, it's been like 2 months now? How long have you been away, David? You don't even remember. Whoa, what's up with that? Well, David, can you make some small talk while I launch the IDE? He says he can, but he says, guess what, genius? Only I'll be able to hear it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem. David, we need to reevaluate our relationship here. All right, well, welcome to TDD.Academy. My name is Lance Rokine, and over there is solopreneur David Kuntz, who is traveling the Rockies still. Oh my God, David. Well, yeah, it was a bit of a bumpy start today, but let's get into it. Let's see what we are doing on the code today. All right, let's see here. Still trying to give me tips that I've already seen before. Yes, so we have, hey, if you came onto the show to learn how to do test-driven development and how to build a UI widget using TDD, you've come to the right place. We have been doing all kinds of fun stuff with dynamic masking, and we are checking it into GitHub. GitHub, you can look for Lance Rokine on GitHub, and you will get to the code. In case you don't want to like catch up on all these shows here. So and today, let's recall what we are doing. Because I'm looking at the README. Let's whoa, what is all this? I did not. Episode 46. Oh, that's my branches. Yeah. Anyways, I don't care to see that. And I still don't care to see that. Let's go run our unit tests, and then let's run the app and see what we got next. Run all tests. Boom. Kotlin plugin update. You may be wondering why I'm always ignoring the updates. I've been told if I'm going to build the project at work, if I update the Kotlin, I will be at risk of not being able to get through the build. Even though my finger itches to update all the time. Okay, all the tests passed. You may recall we have a bunch of, we're not doing the color, we're probably not going to do the color thing in this show. What I recall in this show, we want to add more features because we got to the dash XX, and I think there's going to be a new challenge for us. Last show, we created a masker class, takes a string, returns a new mask. Okay, very simple. Like all classes, it starts out simply. You could say like, Lance, why are you adding a class just for that? Well, it's going to grow. It's just a start. And we have tests for it now. And if you may recall, if you're on the previous shows, and when you were using a completely different strategy, a more simple strategy before the challenge of, oh, Lance, you should be able to handle alphanumeric in the social security number field as well. That blew up a bunch of simplifying assumptions. And at that point, we were doing a lot of work through mask. Let's see, where are all those tests? Masker test, masker setter test. There it is, TextWatcher test. We had a lot of tests in here. A lot of them are ignored now. A lot of those things are going to go away, boom, and because this other class, this new class, which has even less coupling to other things, is going to take over a lot of that work, which will make it easier. All right? And you can say, Lance, why did you do that to start with? Well, it's very difficult to know those things ahead of time. You don't know exactly what classes you're going to interact with ahead of time. So like Kung Fu, you don't know what you don't know what punch is going to be thrown at you. You can make guesses, you can make estimates, you can imagine, but as you get into the fight, you have to adapt. So we adapted. All right. Okay. So that looks good. The test passed. I believe we'll be working hard on masker tests and masker, and hopefully I want to keep the show short today so I can get on with my holiday. So let's see what we got here. Oops, I reran the test. I actually want to run the app. Okay, we're launching the app. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, that kind of wiggles funny. Oh, I guess it was painting. I hear a lot of noise on my cords today. It was hard getting the show up and running. I had some challenges. We'll see. Hopefully you can't hear that. Hearing a little of the static. Okay, so we type in some numbers. 1, 2, 3. Now, what should happen when I type 4 is the masker, you hit the 4, the text edit watcher sees the 4 come in. It actually prints it on the screen for milliseconds. But before you even notice it, it will have edited it and put the dash back there and moved the 4 to the right. And then it would be dash 4x, okay? So that's the next step, okay? So that's what we're gonna do today. Boom, 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 there we are. Let's figure out how we're gonna do that now. Yeah, here it is. What does it do? What it does is, okay, so we need this new case. We talked about step 1. You can see step 1. I don't know why it's step 2. Oh, step 1 is empty. Okay, cool. Now we have to handle the case of where the 4. So masker is, I got to remember how I use this. So what is this string? Oh, it says next show. Do I need user input merge with mask as parameters? Do I need to use string builder when I'm not building strings? We took out the string builder, so that's all gone. So we can get rid of this. Old comments, that happens a lot. Use your interest first digit. Yeah, so situationally, if you saw in the UI, it actually handled this part right where it returned the correct mask. It returned the 4. I mean, it doesn't return the 4, but it returned back the x dash xxx. But what compute mask doesn't do is it doesn't move the 4 that was freshly added. Oh, let's see, what do I want to do? I wanted to add the dash back, number 1. It's got to put the dash back. Number 2, it's got to put the 4 after that. And then number 3, then it can do this. All right, so it's got to figure that out. Now, who's going to do that work? Am I going to put that code in Masker? Is that code going to go into TextWatcher? We'd like not, because that's a little bit of a hairy class, a little bit. But let's go ahead and look at it. I don't know why I don't have TextWatcher in this directory. I have it somewhere in my widgets. All right, that's weird. I guess it truly is a widget. It does, no, it's not a widget. It doesn't inherit from a UI object. Okay, so Masker is used here. And I love that my phone is buzzing me on Slack. Oh, cool. Good news. I was having some hardware difficulties this week, so new laptop on the way. Nice. Okay. All right, where's Masker used? What happened to my find usages? Okay, so after text changed, if we have our guard to make sure we don't cause reentry to happen when we don't want it to, and we have a string builder, compute the mask. So that's computing the, oh, it's using the, it's using compute mask in there. Okay. So here's the thing. So it computes the mask, but it doesn't fix the problem of moving the 4 to the right and putting the dash back. So something needs to like know about that. And that's still mask related. So I'm going to say that is the responsibility of Masker. All right. So this is a little different than computing the mask. This is computing the mask tells me what I should put to the right of the new number. But I need to fix the mask. I need to put the dash back in, and I need to move the user input. So we're going to need some new code here. And I think I'm going to need a glass of water. Oh my goodness. Started the show without a glass of water. Let me see if I can wave somebody over. Let's see here. I will soldier on without water, just for you folks. I have compute mask is pretty good. I think that functionality is fine. But I need a new functionality that says for the user input, I need to rearrange things so that when I return, I got to think about this. What is mask returning? It's returning the computed mask like that, okay? Fine. But I need to merge the new user input in with the mask. So I need some kind of functionality that does that. Okay. Because here's the situation. Well, let's go write a test about this. This is TDD.Academy after all. So let's go write a test about this. I have a situation under a Masker test. And I believe the functionality could be in Masker. So we have user input overwrites a dash. That's the situation. User input overwrites dash. Now we need to fix it. And I don't know what I have another bar here. There's got to be something over here. I don't know what to put here yet because I don't know what the API is going to be called yet. Maybe like merge. And I could take the mask and the user input and fix it. Merge. All right, so user input is going to be a string. We could pass in strings. I think that's okay. It's going to be the one character at a time. Well, so 1, 2, 3, it's when you type in the 4. Wow, I'm not typing Kotlin anymore. Got to get this all flipped around here. Oh, and I got to put, there we are. Now I'll be able to infer that. And wow, apparently I forgot how to type Kotlin since we took a break last week, didn't do the show. All right, there we are. User input is a 4, right? And the string, hang on a second. So user input, it's going to be like, it's going to be something like this. This is going to be what's in the text field. We're going to reframe this. Text field has 1, 2, 3, 4, dash, something like that. See, the 4 overwrote the dash, so it's just that. Isn't that what we saw? Probably ought to run it again to make sure, or do I have it here? Yes, I have it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got a dash and an X. Oh, that's weird. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, dash, X, X. I'm not exactly sure why the code did that. Maybe I ought to run it again and confirm. While I was running, I'm going to grab a glass of water. All right, what did I miss? David, did you do anything? Did you break it, man? All right, 1, 2, 3. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. When the user presses 4, I'm not sure why it does that. It looks like it moves and appended the dash X. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if it matters to get tied up in that or not, to find out why it did that. Probably matters. Because I got in order to write the test, I need to know what's really happening, and I don't know why. It went from 1, 2, 3. The user types a 4. Oh, wow. There's probably a lot of ways we could handle this. We could handle it by setting the cursor position on the other side of the dash. That actually might be a better way. Okay, that's a new idea. So rerun this. Because that way the cursor, I don't know if the cursor shows up on the phone. Probably not. Phones and cursors don't make sense. Yeah. Yeah, there's a cursor. Okay. So I think we got a new idea here. We should just be moving, we should bump the cursor to the right of the dashes. And that's going to be done by the TextWatcher. So when I type 3, and then there's a dash, it should move the cursor one position over. Oh, okay, that's an interesting idea. Completely different idea. So we do not want this test at this time. So that's definitely the thing that manages cursors, because cursor is part of the view layer. That's going to be in the text. Well, that's TextWatcher related. How do we do this now? We have that set selection. Oh yeah, we have that API in, what was it called? SSN field access. Set selection of text edit. Selection, get selection, set selection, and you pick the position. All right. See, it's calling. SSN TextWatcher has a function that turns around and sets the field access. So was this actually public or private? There's no usages? That's weird. None. All right, we're not using it yet. Okay. All right. All right, so I think we got a new unit test to write on SSN TextWatcher test. All right, so you saw it here, folks. We changed our minds before we committed to a bunch of code. Got that roboelectric stuff. Get it out of here. All right, we have all this mocking stuff we have to deal with, which is why it's not quite as much fun to write tests in this area as I want it to be. Okay, so we have like, well, let's see, what test? Let's find a unit test that relates to this and then put it next to it. SSN TextWatcher test, run all tests. Digits. Okay, so this is related to the user entering third digit scenario. Okay, yeah, I think so. So we'll go to this location. I have this test up here. It looks like it's mask is faded. How does it sort this in a different order than what's in the code? Oh, I was playing with the color scheme stuff here. I'm going to leave this alone because the other work I was doing with another person, I think we care to keep this. So I'm going to leave it alone. I don't like to leave a lot of commented out code, but I'm getting a lot of commented out code, kids. It happens to everyone. Don't keep cleaning it. Position insertion point. All right, so the test is like this. We want to do I'm going to use this as a template. There's a lot of knowledge in here. I think I'm going to need TDD or copy paste cop might be looking for me. David, you'd be proud of me. After text change, user enters third digit. All right, user types on phone 1. User types on phone 2. What's this insertion point? I don't know what it is. Insertion point sounds like it's, I don't know. I'll have to go look in on that. What is this? It's at 0.0. I guess it's where, oh, I'm inserting, I'm using insert. All right, I'm inserting it on the end. Oh, because I'm inserting it into this string. 0, 1, 2, so it's at position 2. Okay, so now we're inserting the 3 at position 2 on the phone, and then we assert what we expect. And this is what on before text change and after text change. Oh, I haven't called those yet, so I better call those. Oh, what am I doing? Am I just checking until the watcher events? Okay, I'm confirming that the string is set up the right way. Double checking, like that. Okay. Comma, oh, I have to get it from somewhere. Okay, that's correct. Now what? User types on phone. I'm checking that the string is set up correctly. All right, let's just run that and see if I got the string set up correctly. Don't need this. And yeah, there was an annotation missing. Wow. So confused. I don't know which one we're using, actually. Tell me which one you're using here. Org JUnit 1. Yeah. We weren't using Jupyter because of Android Electric, and now I don't think we need Android Electric, so we could probably switch back to Jupyter. Android Electric is a big hassle since you don't support Jupyter. That's really not cool. All right, 2 digits, and this one, 3rd digit. Okay, let's run it. The test should pass, and then I need to add a little more to make it fail. A la TDD. Okay, it passed. That's what I expected. Okay, so now we haven't test drove a new functionality in. We're just getting it set up carefully because this is why I don't. TextWatcher is getting complicated, and we have to be careful, which is kind of a bummer. So now we got to call the APIs that are under test. It's after text change ultimately what's under test. So we have to simulate the phone work here. All right, watcher before text change. So it gets text box. Cursor position is not, it's now 2. You can see we're going to end up refactoring this code eventually. So this is silly to keep doing this over and over again. So before text change, the cursor position is at 2, meaning 0, 1, 2. Somebody types in a 3. So 1 character is added. and it's all done in text box. And then after text change is where our code is, where it does the activity. And it's necessary to call before text change because there's some stateful adjustments that are made in there so that after text change works correctly. Now, after text change is called, this is where we expect to see some good things. We expect that assert equals I'm not going to copy paste that. Okay, we expect that, right? And we expect the cursor to be in the right spot. And so how do we get that information? We did that up above here. We go assert equals, expected text in box. Assert mask is correct. Oh, I probably should just do that. Assert mask is correct. That should still pass because it's all about where the cursor is, and we need to add some code to track that down. Expected position of insertion point. Now this is where things get a little interesting. This is the part that should fail because it's not working on the phone correctly. We expect to be at position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 4. So that when I type the 4 in, it actually overwrites the X. So we're overwriting the X's and not the dashes. So we're designing it so that the dashes don't need to be rewritten. I mean, we could. So the argument I was having with myself was about whether just to fix everything, we just let the user type. But you could see when we type on the phone, that the cursor is right after the 3, so it seems sensible to pop it over one spot. So we expect the cursor to skip a spot. Do we say that in our test? Wow. Jumps past. Okay. All right, so we're jumping past the dash. That should be right. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the cursor should be right here. Should be one or more over. Okay, so yeah, okay, let's try that. Because when sorry, I'm just thinking about this. Because when I compute the mask again, excuse me, I guess I have to understand where my cursor is. So I'm going to have to tell the masker where my cursor is. Otherwise it won't compute it correctly and it will add too much. All right. We'll see. All right, so if I run this test, it should fail. I don't know how this is. I want to take a look at this. How's this implemented? Watcher.getSelection and let's get it from the watcher. The watcher is a mock, I think. I'm not sure how it knows. All right, let's just go for it and see what happens. Watcher.get selection and. All right, I am just so curious how that's implemented. So it's going to go to TextWatcher, and it's going to go to SSN field axis. And SSN field axis, what is it set to in the case of a unit test? Because I feel like I have to do some, probably have to update some of my mock objects. Because we're not accessing the view object within the unit test, that won't work. Shame on you, Google. You should let us do that. I want to instantiate these objects inside my unit tests. All right, initialize, text box, watcher, SSN field mock. There it is. It's going to go through the mock object. And the mock object has get current color. Wow, it's not. Let's see. It's not get selection and. We're just going to go to SSN field axis. And that means there's got to be a mock object to support that. SSN field axis, where are you? Here it is. So my SSN field mock, oh yeah, here's my selection position. Get selection of text edit right there. We're going to have to do some coding for this. So my mock object is, the getter says return if selection is equal to -1, the length of the text box. Okay, so that part makes sense. Else, it says return the selection position, which means that it was set. Okay, I think this will work out. So if the code calls the set, which is what it needs to do to skip the dash, this ought to work brilliantly. Okay, cool. I don't think I have to update this. Yay. Okay. Let's run the unit test, and we should see a failure. Because we're not skipping dashes. There it is. Test failed. It says, well, let's see why it failed. Expected 123, but was 123x, which is what we see on the phone, right? No, not quite. We have a dash there. X. Expect to see 123 dash. Oh, that's interesting. Might have a test failing a little earlier than I want it to be, but was 123x. Why is that different? Okay, so this assertion's failing here. X. Why would that happen? I don't know. So the user types on phone 3 at position 2. Do I have that part right? 0, 1, 2, 3. I think my position's not right. 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, position 2. 0, 1, 2. Okay, that part makes sense. So I'm not manipulating the string correctly with this user types on phone part, because that's the test that failed. All right, so my test is not set up right. Yeah, probably because I'm inserting where the X is, and so I inserted to the left of the X instead of overwriting it. All right, that's the difference. So user types on phone can't do an insert. It must be a top. It's a different situation. It should be, but why is it different now? Why didn't this problem occur when I typed in any of these? So I have assert mask correct, and then I type in a 2. 1, 2, XX, okay, because the user typed in a 2, and so it really does insert. That part's not a lie. And okay, that actually makes sense. Yeah. I'm fixing it too soon. So user types on the phone here, a 3, so there's going to be an X like that. Okay, so there we are. So this is the incorrect string because we haven't adjusted yet. These next 2 calls, specifically this one, this is what fixes the string. So this is kind of the messy string that happens when the user types. All right. Oh yeah, so this is why. All right, so does that still make sense to move the cursor? I think it still does because we're skipping a spot. Anyways, that test will pass now. I mean, well, it'll go further. Okay, now where did it fail? Hopefully it failed where we expect it to. Okay, so it didn't get the insertion point set correctly. All right, so now we want our SSN after text change code to manage skipping the dashes. See, we overwrite X's, but we skip dashes. And should it? I feel like it should because it looks correct visually to the user. That's what you'd expect when you use this phone. You'd expect the dash to be, when you hit the next number, it's gonna put the number there. I mean, if you push a dash now, that's extra work. You shouldn't have to do that, all right? So we're automating it. We're trying to make it easier on the user. Best user experience, all right? We're trying to give them the best user experience. That's why we're doing all this hard work. If we want to get them a credit user experience, sure, we can do that too. So, okay, so let's see what's going on here. So it's going to branch regard, it's going to happen. Mask is computed, that part's fine. Safely append mask on the end, that's fine. This is going to be different now. This has got to be different for dashes. All right. So now we need to look ahead one spot, see if there's a dash. Wow, interesting functionality. Let's see if we can do it now. So we need a conditional that says, if insertion point next to dash because I have a failing test. I'm being driven. We're doing TDD, folks. I got to remind you that. We know we think a lot about, we have to think a long time and get set up, but we're here. Insertion point next to dash. Is that the right way to say this? If the user typed a number next to a dash, is that? Anytime the insertion point shows up in the phone, if it's next to a dash, we pop it over one spot. So if insertion point's next to dash, do this, else you do this. Okay? And okay. So now we got to compute that. And if it is next to the dash, it should be SSN field access dot user cursor +1. As long as we're not, okay, so we're making an assumption here. We're assuming there's not lots of dashes. So I'm not solving this for the general case of all dashes. I'm solving it for what I care about right now, which is social security number. Set selection of text edit. Yeah. What is user cursor set by? Where's that coming from? Who's setting this? So I have to snoop around a little bit because I'm curious. After TextWatch, before TextWatch, okay, yeah. So before TextWatch is tracking that for us. Bookkeeping, baby. I guess I need to increment the user cursor. I don't just, yeah. Cursor position's right here. I wonder why I'm not using that. Why am I doing this? That seems a little bit dodgy. I'm that seems a little dodgy. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's go back to here. So every time before TextWatch is called, it's going to take the user cursor and it's going to add on to the end of it it's going to take user cursor plus count of characters added. So if a person types in more than one character, I guess, it will handle that case if you type really fast before the event gets triggered. Very curious. Don't know. Seems a little bit like I have extra code in there I don't need. The complexity smell seems there. All right, so user cursor position. If I'm in here, I'm moving the cursor position, so I'm gonna have to what am I looking at here? In TextWatcher. So after text change, I'm not sure I'm doing the accounting here right, but it looks like I'm just setting the selection to +1 and I'm not updating the user cursor after that. So how is user cursor going to be ever accurate if I'm never, yeah, it seems like there's a problem going to happen here because I don't see how. I have a question. I'm going to write it in here as a comment. And below, I'm not updating user cursor position. Shouldn't I? I might complain more. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it alone because we're gonna see it happen. We're gonna see problems occur either through our unit test or through our manual test. So I'm making these questions to come back to. Okay, so I'm setting the selection of the text edit, which changes the user cursor position, but I'm not. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this is a different case. Here it is. So here I'm setting it to the new user cursor position. Boom. But here I'm changing it to another user cursor position. So yes, I should update it. So the answer to that one is yes. So when you're next to a dash, increment the user cursor, and then set the selection of text edit. I don't like that word, selection. Why is it called the selection? Oh, probably because that's the API name. Yeah, I think it's API driven. It's driven, the Android API calls it that. That's why I named it. I followed that. All right, so not following that would make it worse. It's weird, I got a pop-up to do this. All right, so we're almost into it by an hour. Let's see if we can get this baby, get some progress here. So if I run the test, boom, test passed. My jaw's dropping on the show here, folks. Wow, I wrote this failing test passed. Now, that's cool. What we really care about, now does the app work the right way? Let's see. Things usually don't go according to plan, so I'm not that optimistic. I'm a developer. Okay. Computers make us work damn hard before they give up the goods. Wow, what's all this? Build failed. Well, why did they get test? All right, now we're getting into some trouble. What's going on here? I ran this. Test event's not received. Okay, so the code's not compiling. What's going on? Oh, okay. Yeah, I have some code I haven't written yet. Okay. Okay. Can make this an is. Oh my God, what have you trying to do to me? Is, oh, I see my caps lock. Is insertion point next to dash? Why am I writing all this code? Let's make the IDE do it for us. Create, generate. Huh. Actually, oh well, okay. Oh, there's a quick fix. That quick fix might solve it. Yes, there we are. Okay. So when insertion point is next to dash, then we'll figure this out by looking at what's going on at cursor position. So if where's my code? Where's my text at? It's going to be in the editable. Masker. There it is, Social Security number. Back up. Oh, that's Alt butterfly right. That works for me. Hope I can remember that. And index. User cursor. If user cursor +1, that's the next two part. Wow, why are you cranky with me now? Place with save call. Alt-Shift-Enter. Okay, so user cursor. Really? Okay. What does this all this mean? So it says if the nullable Social Security number, get cursor +1. I find this very confusing. Not sure I'm test driving this. I gotta leave this off. I don't have a scenario for that yet. I want to test drive that code in. Okay, so equals, let me just delete this code until we test drive that. So we gotta add a test. Better take a note somewhere. That's not in the code, but on a sticky so I can see it before I close the show. Need test case. To TDD, test drive. To test drive. I gotta put a return for the other case though. All right, I guess I gotta write it down. I could write true. I could write a bug in here on purpose, so later I can TDD it. All right, fine. Need to test drive this to return false. Wow, that is just kind of not making me happy. Want to make sure I don't forget that. So get over there. We got to make sure we take care of that before we check in, because that's an icky thing to leave around. Need to test drive. Case to need to test drive in is insertion point. Point next to dash. Okay, yeah. Yep, there we are. I'm really bothered by that, apparently. All right, so still don't like this code. I don't know what. I don't know about this with this safe call stuff. All right, the getter could fail. Why is that safe? How did I make it safe by putting question marks? Add equals true. Add non-null assert call. Add equals true. What are you talking about? Wow, talk about making code. Nice, not nice to see. All right, so social security number dot get cursor position, blah, blah, blah. That part makes sense to me. Social security number is nullable? Possibly true, because I think it's a late, yep, that part. All right, fine. And how about this? I'm going to guarantee that that exists. Now, cursor position plus 1. Can I guarantee that exists? I don't know. Well, there's always a mask there. And at some point, the insertion point is going to be like, you know, way on the end. And that might be, okay, so we have another test case. We're going to have a lot of test cases here. What about the case? Okay, and the cursor position is here. There will be one more. All right, so when they're at that point and the cursor position's there, well, yeah. All right, so we know what more code we're going to have to add. Add test here. Because this really could be null. I don't think it'll be null. Why do I have to have it equals true? It's just weird. Yeah, let's simplify Boolean expression. Thank you. The ID says add equals true, and now it's like, well, you know, you don't need that. Thank you. I agree. Now what? End of line comment? I don't know what that is. Okay. I think that's all correct. So if this, for the test I have right now, this will check to see if the next item is a cursor, has a cursor. Let's see if it works. Let's run the unit test. Wow, okay, so it's breaking down more tests. So I'm causing regressions to happen, which is nice that we have these unit tests to tell me, hey, you're great in regressions, buddy. I've got some regressions. All right, single digit null pointer exception is, all right, so when they're typing in, yeah, okay. So in the first case, there is no mask. And the initial mask is there, but after they type 1, the initial mask goes away. So this is great. The test is telling me, look, you got to like protect yourself. So this is going to solve some of these problems I'm worried about. All right, so it should return, oops, false. Now, I don't know that this will pass the test because I think I have to do more work than that, but let's just run it and see. Okay. So in this case, it's going to get a null pointer exception because of the line 69, right? That's all this weird unprotected stuff happen. Unprotected stuff. Oh. Okay, so now we got to add some more conditional logic. Unfortunately, this one's complicated. So sometimes there's the case of the very first numbers added and the cursor position, we can't assume that there's even a mask at all. So how do I detect if mask is in place or if using initial mask? Well, one thing I could do is I could just go a couple ways. There's at least, okay, user cursor, the masker, and mask. And that's set to initial mask. All right, so we're just going to check on the length of the SSN number, and the SSN number is going to be really short in the initial state. So that will handle that. It's not going to be easy to look at code. That's what I don't like about it. But anyways, if SSN number length is less than two. We're talking about the length, less than or equal to 1. We'll just go less than 2. Is it like a magic number? How do I express this right? How about we do it differently? If length is equal to 1, then there's no possibility that you could be next to a dash, right? So that's return true. That should solve that first case. It's unhappy with me right now. Why? Okay, we're gonna have to keep doing this safe call stuff. Okay. I'm putting the exclamation points in there because by the time it gets to that code, it's going to be, there's going to be some, the user had to have typed something in. And since the user typed something in, there's going to be some, it can't possibly be nullable. So I'd use the dashes. It still didn't fix my problem though. Line 69. So where is the null pointer exception? I wonder why it says, oh, I can create a breakpoint? Huh. All right. Social Security number, length, equal to 1. Return true. Oh, because that's supposed to be false. Can't be next to a dash. Logic error. Spelling error. All right, now let's run it. Still 3 failed. Line 69. So, Okay, so it's getting a null pointer exception. That means number is actually null. Well, the easy thing is to say, well, if number is equal to null, then return false. Oh, puzzled by how it's getting to that point because number is set in, oh no. Okay, SSN number is set by, not set in before text change, okay? Wait a minute. Where are you getting set at SSN field? Or SSN number? Come here, you little bugger. There you are. That's in the test case. I don't care about that. I'm talking about in here. Are you kidding me? This is the first time we've used this? That don't make sense. What's going on here, kids? SSN field, SSN number. All right, let's check this out. Before text change, gets the cursor position. That's all it's doing right now. All right. Why do I have this thing sitting here? Because it's hard to read the thing above, maybe? Character sequence, int, count, after. So this is setting cursor position. I am not using SSN. How interesting. Really? Very puzzled now. Okay, after. Set selection. See if we put mask on the end. It's using characters that were passed in by characters in GUI. Characters in GUI is the after. Okay, so so I got some dead code, it looks like. I should be using characters in GUI. All right. Okay, and that's a local parameter. So if I'm going to be able to look at it, I have to pass it into the next function. Yeah, because it doesn't have access to it. Okay, let's back up here. First of all, we gotta get rid of some dead code because that wasted some time. We don't want to leave it there for later. So I'm not using this variable anywhere usefully. TextWatcher test. Watcher.ssn number 2 string. Wow. That's interesting. I have a test for that. Is that a disabled test? Because if it is, I'm getting rid of it. Watcher dot SSN number 2 string. That's an ignored one. That's an ignored one. Yeah. It's old architecture stuff. Ignored one. Ignored one. Okay. So, won't recurse when user deletes dash. I don't think any of this code is valuable anymore. Because, well, so how is it that I'm getting the Social Security number now? That's a good question. Because I used to do watcher.ssn number. And now I am not. Where's my new test? See, I'm using text box for this. After text changed, we check the text box. I think that's okay. Yeah, okay. Well, let's get rid of some of these things here. All right, so this test is going to get gotten rid of. It's old code to clean up. And this one. Now, how am I going to do this? If I'm not using that, I got to pass in that GUI thing. Okay, so. All right. And Let's run that test. Oh, I probably haven't deleted that. Character at. Okay, hang on a second. Let's get rid of SSN number in our TextWatcher. There it is. Okay. It's nice to delete code like that. Now, we have something that's not mocked. Method character at in expandable string builder, not mocked. All right, let's go fix that. Oh, because I'm using get. I could use character at, and I think I should. Using equals get. But character at's going to return. All right. We got to double check this before you get too carried away. I want to know. That's the right API. The question is, do I use? Does that return one character? It does return one character. So get returns one character. Okay. And that'll work. Take a look at what else we got here. A lot of methods. Strings are a lot of work. Get a computer science degree, you spend a lot of time on math, and then you end up fiddling more with strings. Math's important too. We're using math all over the place here. Okay, so characters in GUI. I need to implement the get in the spannable string builder. Integer, take a position, integer. I'm just going to return a character, by the way. Return a character, right? Pretty sure. Colon. Okay. Like that. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. We're good. Let's try that. Oh, that compile error. Oh, this IDE, you see, Look at, it's messing with our cursor positions all the time. Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy when not done well. Okay, we got down to one test failed. All right, that was a little bit of work there. Okay, but value add, we had a unit test failure. Tell me, whoa, you know some of those scenarios you're thinking about, Lance, that you have written test for, guess you already had some of those tests already written. And by the way, I discovered some code that needed to be removed. I know I've probably got a few more, all these other ones that are commented out. Okay, after text change, we now have the test we expected to be failing, though I'm not sure I expect this to still fail. Let's see why it's failing. So we made this other test pass when we insert one digit, and that resolved one of those questionable things I was worried about, like, you know, these adding test cases. I think we still have some other ones that we haven't written yet. Yeah. All right, so if characters in GUI length is equal to 1, return false, because there's not enough characters typed in yet to even worry about dashes, because that's a very initial start case when that can happen. Okay, this case. And then this one is the one I'm on now. If characters in GUI get cursor plus 1 equals dash, return true. And if it returns true, then increment the cursor position. More than that, we have to increment it twice. Okay. We have to increment it 2 positions because it's at the dash. Okay. Why am I saying that? Let's see. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so somebody says, someone was in this case, and they type in a 3. The next cursor position is a dash. Return true. The cursor above says, well, we should increment it 1 spot, not 2. It was right the first time. Then set the selection of text edit to be where the new cursor position is. Yeah, that looks right. So that code looks right. So, but it's still failing the test. So why is that? So is insertion point next to dash true? Yeah, then we do this. Okay. Wonder why I have this else, like actually changing it again. This should just leave it alone. Don't need to set it again. Just leave it alone, right? Right now, how many tests? Okay, I'm changing a couple things here if I do that. So how many tests do I have failing right now? 1 failure. I don't think I need this. The only reason why I would add that, I think, is if I'm just refactoring it. So let me see what the code used to look like. I know it's a hassle. We're going to step in the Wayback Machine. All kinds of code got changed. A lot of coding today. Maybe I don't need to do all this, though. I could just do diff. Okay, let's do that. This is not fast. Okay, so let me diff SSN TextWatcher with the code and local history. Diff, 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 diff. No, that's not what I mean. No, that's not what I want to do. Get, there it is. Show diff. Yeah, okay, so I was always calling set selection of cursor edit anyhow with user cursor. So I kept the else because that's what it used to do, and I'm adding a new condition for the if. All right, I hope I knew what I was doing. I'm gonna leave that alone then. All right, so my test is failing. Let's go back there and look at that more closely. Why is it failing? Expect this test to pass. Oh, expected 4, but it was 3. All right, let's see what it is. After text change, why am I seeing all this information? Oh, because of the before text change, characters and text edit, da da da. So I expected 4, but I got 3 because position 0, 1, 2, 3. And I expect 4 because there shouldn't be an X here, but there's an X in the way. Oh, this is so complicated. Okay, so there's an X in the way. It's not next to a dash. That's going to be a deal. Okay, let's see what's going on here. If I go back to the test. All right, so there's an X in the way here. A call before, a call after. When after is done, the mask will be corrected, but then we need to check to see if, after the mask is corrected is when we want to check to see if we're next to a dash and fix up the cursor position. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh boy. Okay, safely append mask on the end. So now, the mask is appended on the end. At that point, shouldn't the string be fixed up now? I'm not sure. So here's how we find out is we need to do something, put a breakpoint in here and see what's going on. All right, we'll put a breakpoint in our test first. I'm going to run this test. Because the mask is correct here. That looks great. Just did set the position right. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I know why. Probably ought to call it on the after here. Oh, it's here. There's a little place to click to get the breakpoint in, and I forgot where the little place is. Come on, man. Help me out here. That's over here. There it is. Okay, so run this test in a debugger. We want to run it. We don't want to look at other tests going to the breakpoint, so we need to get all that cleared out. Rerun, continue. Where's my continue? There it is. After text changed. Okay, this is the one. Yep. All right. The user enters 2 digits. Why 1, 2? No, that's not the one I want to be debugging. Keep going, baby. User enters 3rd digit. And cursor jumps past dash. Step into that. Step into it. Okay, characters in UI, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's a, it's the 3 got inserted by the user because that's the default. Unless I can program that text editor to not do insertions. That's an interesting idea. I wonder if I could do that. Can I set the mode? I don't know. That would be interesting. Hang on a second. Let's chase that rabbit a second. Try this custom TextWatcher. Set text on overwrite. Linear layout. Okay, so this is probably somebody else's code. And TB toggle button. Toggle button, set text on, insert on, off on, size. Have a text watcher. Interesting. Somebody else is doing some text editor watch, TextWatcher work. On text change. I'm just curious a little bit. Sorry, I'm probably wasting time. That's cool. I think I want to look at this later. I'm always curious how other people are using TextWatcher. Oh, wow, a long time ago, huh? Interesting. Okay. Send this to myself. Okay. Now, back to the code. All right, so okay, anyways, so it's the messy, we have the messy characters like we expected. Okay, I expected that, right? The user just typed in the 3 and it inserted it. So the dash, there's an X out there. But when it gets fixed up, it should be 1, 2, 3 dash. And after it's fixed up, that's when we want to check to see if we're next to it. And then when we're next to it, we want to adjust our position. So let's step through this. Step over, step over. Okay, so it's going to compute the mask. And mask is coming back with, yeah, dash. Oh, that's interesting too, is that I could actually just look at the mask, because the mask is what's going to be stuck on the end of the user input. And if the mask is the beginning of the mask is a dash, that's another way to do the detection. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Save for the pen mask onto end. I'm going to go ahead and step into that because I'm trying to remember what that does. Yeah. So it's going to use field length, the total length minus the mask length to compute. Oh, and that does the deletion and the insertion. And says app is adding a mask is set to false at that point. I was wondering why that was going to happen. All right, all right. All right, so that's good. Now it's fixed up at the end of that. Let me step over it. Characters. Yeah, so it's all fixed up. Now, is my cursor in the right spot? Like, wow. I got all kinds of things that could be wrong here. We're doing bookkeeping on mask. We have user input and we have cursor position. And cursor position, yeah, that's true. Cursor position is going to be, because we just added a bunch of text in, it's probably stuck on the end. And it's got to fix that at some point. Does it use that code in here? No, it doesn't. All right, now let's step over. Okay. Now cursor position, what do you think that's set for? That's set for 3. 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2. It's set for 3 right now. And why is it set for 3? Why is it set for 3? That doesn't seem right. Because this looks brilliant. That looks beautiful. Mwah. I just want to move the cursor now. And if cursor position, well, let's walk into it. It's going to get it wrong, I think, because cursor position doesn't look set right. Step into, and it says, okay, number 1 is the length equal to 1. No, it's equal to 10. It'll always be equal to 10 because we have a mask. Okay, step over. So now, this is where I think we're getting into some problems here. We are using cursor position, and the cursor position isn't set correctly. Cursor position should be, if there's nothing typed, it's 0. If there's something typed, it's 1. If there's two things that type, it's 2. If there's 3 things typed, which is the case, it's set to 3. Okay, so I guess it is set. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, let's see what this does. Can I run get on this somehow? Evaluate expression. That's what I want. Set to X. Why is that? Oh. Why is it set to X? Zero, 1, 2, 3. Cursor position plus 1 is X. Let's play with this. It's cursor position, period. It's dash. Three. Okay. So for some reason, 0, it's a cursor, and its position should be based on a 0 length index, right? So if I put in 0, I'm going to get a 1. Yep. And if I put in cursor position set to 3 for whatever reason, it makes sense it was set to 3 because the user entered in 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, okay. They entered in 3, which is in the 0, 1, 2. After they put 3, the cursor is at the next spot. 0, 1, 2. So it would be 2 before they type in 3, but after they type in 3, the cursor is now 3. Okay, so that makes sense. That logic is correct. So now we go if cursor, characters in UI get cursor position, period. All right. Let's close this. This should be that. So if where the cursor's at has a dash, then return true. All right, cool. And at that point, we increment it one step, and SSN field, set selection of text edit. Yeah, we want to set the text edit. We want to set the selector, the start of the selector at the new cursor position. Hope Android actually called it that. Otherwise, I don't know why I called it such a weird name. All right, so I've changed it already. I could run the test. I think I want to check my test, see if it's even correct. So I'm going to hit and exit out of this. Stop. And go back to here. Notice we have one up here called add a dash is true for third number. This is pretty similar. Test case I've got here. I probably got a better test case I could have used. Could have added on to an existing one instead of writing this again. So what am I trying to do here? All right, user types of 3 on the phone. At the insertion point is at 2. 1, 2. So type of 3. before text change, cursor position. Is it really 2 though? I guess so. After text change. I feel like this should be a bigger number. Anyways, so I expect it to give cursor position of what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I expect it to be cursor position of 4. Okay, cool. Let's run the test. Maybe it'll pass. Boom. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I ran it without the hitting breakpoints. That's good. Didn't pass. Let's see what's going on. And expected 4, but got 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, dash is 4. So why is that not getting set? We increment it here, and then we set it here. Let's run that test again in the debugger. Never happy times when we're in the debugger. When you're in the debugger, there's big trouble. Well, at least a big slowdown. All right, characters in the GUI. Characters in the GUI are hover, hover, hover. 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, looks beautiful. And then cursor position is right now 3. So it's going to go in here. Should return true. False. All right, why is that? Is it because I didn't go to the next one? Okay, cursor position set to 3. It says dash. So why is it false? Did I use a different kind of dash? It's number 45. I don't understand. What's going on now? False. Okay. Something silly's going on. Characters in GUI get, it's a dash, equals. It's a character. Why won't that work? Let's do a learning test. Because that seems sensible, right? If it seems sensible, we gotta learn something. All right, so this is with string builder. 0, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's all we're doing. Cranky little guy. Wish I had another thread I could run that on instead of having to restart this thing. Run this test. Come on. Learn equals and dash. So I failed. Assertion error. All right, so is it because it's a character? Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, and then you have to do a .toString to get out of it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to do a toString to turn into a string. So I can do a dot equals. That's the problem. Yeah, all right. Wow, there we are, folks. Since it returns a character, it doesn't automatically handle doing equals correctly, because it's the character is not equal to a string. The types aren't the same, I guess, is why it's saying that. That's bizarro. I mean, the other way is to do this, and that's okay too. Might be a tiny bit more efficient for the computer to do this. Yeah, okay, there we are. All right, so when we get characters, so the single quote means character. It's shorthand in most programming languages for character. And that is still holding today. All right, so we'll change it to that. Got to remember that for one of the things we learned today. Back to here. Equals to the character dash as opposed to the string. All right. Got to run all those tests, not this one. By the way, folks, remember earlier or in the past I've said it's better to run all the tests so you get the data on all the results. Today we got a regression, so it was nice to see that so I could address that. All right, cool. The test passed, and so it looks like the skipping should be happening. Okay, now the only way to know for sure, our unit test is happy. Our automated unit test is happy. Now let's do one manual test run so we can see if the app's happy. So because sometimes our unit tests aren't, in this case, sometimes our unit test work isn't simulating the phone the same. But we can make it, and we've gotten it there many times. All right, come on, baby. Let's get this going. Oops. Scroll over here. Looks like it's ready for input. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. It skipped it, folks. It skipped the bloody thing. All right. Sweet. As usual, it was a 2-hour show. 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. Yep. So there we are, folks. We got the functionality in there. We have more tests to write because of all the scary comments I added in there. Where's my scary comments? Maybe we should add some of those tests right now before we shut down the show. SSN field access. TextWatcher test. was in the TextWatcher. I say scary things like, okay, what's all this? Oh yeah. So we could check for the situation of, all right, this is interesting. Return true, we have returned false here. Let's see if this test case is already covered. Maybe we don't need to add a test if it's already covered, right? Sweet, it failed. That means there's a test already covering it. User entered single digit, expected 1, but was 2. Because there isn't a need for a mask in that case. And there isn't a need for the mask in that case. So we got it covered. So those tests already have us covered. And we do have this test case where we get the whole thing typed in. Because it might throw an exception if there's this get might go too far. And I think I'm going to feel like I want to pass on that till next time. But let me see if I can do it in, I'm going to time box this because it's holidays and I'm still over here hacking. Let's see if I can get it in 10 minutes, all right? We need a timer. Come on, baby. Get over here, timer. Oh, here's my timer. Can't show it on the screen here. There, put it next to on the screen. I'd like to get it done in less than 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is means I might solve some problems. All right, so we need this case. To get rid of this, I need to add a test case for that. So we go to our TextWatcher test and see if we already have a test for something like this. Adds 5th digit. All right, let's go do it. Let's go here. Huh, that's funny. I can squeeze it down. A new test based on this one. Okay, before I copy paste, let's see what I can get rid of out of here. Okay, need that. I like this. I don't need this because we're testing functionality at that point. And this is, I'm testing the phone. Mask, wait, what did I delete here? Position of insertion point. Gonna have to do some refactoring because this stuff we don't need to do over and over again. Insert mask is correct. Okay, the type 3 in. And I like to have that for the last step, which this one is, so I'm going to leave it in there. And then we have this is all arrange. Finally, we get to the act and assert. Okay. So this is all arranged. So that's a messy arrange. When your arranges get messy, you should do a refactoring. I'm going to do this in 10 minutes. I'm not going to refactor. I'm sorry. This is a tight schedule. I'm going to leave some code debt for later. Don't worry, we'll get to it someday. You saw me get rid of some ignores that I've been reluctant to get rid of because I've been having trouble being competent and might get rid of being competent and get rid of my ignores. Okay, after text change, user enters whole entire SSN. And we're just testing that that it handles that case. So this is our entire SSN case. So 1. change something here? Zero. Man, I really want to refactor it. I'm actually I don't like making copy paste code. It just pisses me off because it's like boom, 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 right? And then it's all about the number and the position. Oh, man, I don't think I can get it done in 10 minutes if I refactor it. I'm going to try. All right, I'm going to try to refactor this damn thing. I'm a cranky man when I have to make code debt. So that's the group. That's the next group. All right, function means extract function implicitly. Okay, so user types. I think that's still a good name. Causes events called. That's the additional stuff. Okay, like that. Process duplication. Mm-hmm. Now this one, I'm testing it with an act. I'm going to leave that one alone. Okay. Now, we want to parameterize some things here. Got the parameterized text edit and what's entered. User input. It's a character. Char. Okay, and then the other thing is, how am I going to get the cursor position? Can I compute that? I think I'm going to compute that. Because I believe, man, this is way more than 10 minutes. It's not going to get, we're not going to get this done in time. That when user types on phone, I'm going to end up with a text box that's a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay. This is hard-coded to 1. That one's correct. Number of characters replaced, 0. Cursor position is going to be text box -1 because we're pretending we didn't add it. It's where the precision was before. Okay. Damn this thing. I do not like how this Kotlin handles named parameters. You can't type it in yourself. Drives me crazy. Okay. I think that will make it general. now I have to go fix that one. So it's always adding one character. I'm not replacing any, and we're using the text box to get the cursor position dynamically. All right, I think that will work. So how to test it is to go fix the call site, where I broke it now because I changed the way the code, because I added those parameters. So in this case, they were adding in a 1. Ah, damn you. Comma. No, that's it. Right? And we're just going to keep that working. There's another call site. Sorry, I got like bright lights in the studio here, and I can't see those tiny little red spots Kotlin makes or Android Studio uses. Okay, cool. And it's a character. All right, so let's see if those tests run. They do. Good. Okay, now we can handle this one. Insertion point. Oh, that's my caller. My timer just went up. So that was 10 minutes. And third digit. That assertion could go away. Oops, it's got to be a character. And then let's run that test. Failed. It's going to slow things down even more. Which one failed at? Which one failed? Expected 1, 2x, but was 1, 1x. What's going on here? This one? Where did it fail? Come on, highlight that for me. Okay, that spot. All right, and it didn't work. So, didn't work because, where's it at? Oof. Takes it to, oh, well, because we gotta use it. Easy one to fix. All right, .toString. I gotta fix more code debt. Gotta get those strings back to characters. Okay. Still didn't pass. My refactoring is not doing very well. Now what? Expected 1, 2, XX, but was 2, 1. It's probably because 2, 1. It's getting the, oh, I gotta do a comma here because it assumes that position 0 is why for this one. So it always puts it at position 0. I gotta call this one. not a good API to have. Okay, so let's back up. User input. So why my code ends up not being well refactored, because I get like something done in an hour to 2 hours, and then I think, oh, but refactoring takes even more showtime. So let me see if I can get it licked, and then I'm going to not do that test because I don't have time. I mean, I have as much time as I want to spend, but I want to do some other things with that time. Got some movies to watch with the family. Okay, so this is not the right API, so we got to do comma. User types on phone. Never should use this comma. It's got to use this other one. Now, wow, how is it going to know where to input it? I think it's going to be based on text box length. So when the length is 0, it'll put it at the front. When the length is 1, it'll put it there. Okay, let's try that. Okay, but when the length is 1, should put it at position 1, right? 1, 2. Wow. Looks like it's messing things up quite a bit. Code looks a lot cleaner. It just doesn't work yet. Let's see here. So when it goes to here, it's going to user input 2. Text box length will be, oh, the text box length will actually be pretty long because it's going to have the mask in it. Yikes. That's just not going to work the way I want it to work. I'm going to have to pass that logic in up above. I feel like I can't assume I know how. Yeah, and then in that case, I can't even use this cursor position either. Okay. All right, I don't know how to divorce ourselves from that. This is the cursor position where we're inserting. And this is where, yeah, it should be okay. So at the 0th position, first position, should all work. Okay, but now I got to update those call sites again because I can't figure out how to compute it today. This is call site 0, yep. Try that. I wanted to not have to pass that in, but I'm going to have to create state. I don't like creating a lot of state in my unit tests. Okay, expected 1 to x, but was 1 to x. test. It's on this one. XX. That's weird that this other one is working though. Single, 2 digits. Thought I had a 3-digit one. Yeah. Old test cases. Anyways, damn it. All right, let's see. Killing myself here. Okay, what is it? So what's happening is it's not inserting. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's how it should work. Okay, so type in 1 and we get the right thing. We type in 2 and the 2 will be at cursor position 0, 1, 1. And it's not quite working because we're getting a 1, 2, X dash XX. So why is that happening? And step in. Position 1. Insertion point 1, text 2. Yeah, it's going to end. One, two, XXX. Okay, that looks correct. 1, 2, XXX dash X. Okay, cool. Oh, maybe. Okay, I think I know what's wrong. And I don't think anything's wrong. I just have to change the test. So here, it's going to clean up the extra X and fix the mask. Because that's what that does. That functionality fixes the mask. But my assertion in the up above in the code doesn't take that into account. 1, 2, X. All right. Yeah, it simulates phone really well. And come out, and we can't actually inspect those intermediate steps anymore because I already did it right here. All of it got done. Okay, so I delete that. It's cleaning up the code. And then we do it for 3. Well, you just let it continue. Can I let this test continue after deleting code? Let's see. Maybe not. All right, let's rerun that test. Yeah, it does work. Okay, cool. And then we can do it again for this. Okay, so that's a lot cleaner than you saw before, folks. So that's why I really hate not spending time to refactor, but it does take up some show time. And I don't spend a lot of time in between shows on this code. because I got other day job things going on. Let's see. Now that didn't pass. What happened here? Oh, because I'm calling it again. Okay. So I have to back out that last change. So like, if I'm going to have my act being called out separately, I need to back it out a little bit. I have to use that 3 the old school way. Unless I change my attitude about that. Okay. So if you want to see the act called out, otherwise it's going to get buried in it, and I don't want that buried in my tests. Tests should be simple as possible, and I think it's unfortunately so simple I can't know what happened. Now, good God, I am just going to write this test now. Function. User inputs entire SSN. Okay. Hello. So now I'm going to do it this way. Now I can do it pretty tightly. I can just do user on phone TextWatcher called. It's going to be 1, position 0. We're going to get this test written. I don't know if I'm going to get it passed. I'm going to type in a 2, position 0, 3, position 0, 4, no, not position 0, 1, 2, 3. 5. Oh my God. Okay, we gotta be careful here. 1, 2, 3, but then there's a dash. Six. Cursor position 7. Oops, let's type 7. I like Swift where you actually can type in those things. This is really going to mess up my Swift coding. Oh my God. 7, comma. Eight, comma, 9. Okay, so that's 10 positions. That's a full-on Social Security number. This test probably, well, I don't know what's going to happen. This could cause a failure, and I'm going to close the show. I'm not going to fix the problem, but at least we're going to get something going on here. All right, let's run it. I can remember I complained about it in that tester. I said, oh, I'm not testing for this full-on case. And it looks like it passed. So that's interesting. All right, so it looks like the code for this I added that test case, 789, right? And it worked. Now you might be wondering, like, well, can you type it in on the phone? I manually told the computer to skip the dashes, so it won't. Part of the functionality is to have that dash be skipped, and I know I didn't. See, this code only looks for. I don't think it will. Actually, I'm trying to hypothesize. I don't think it will. I don't think it can. Case happens during initial G. Okay. See this case I wrote here? I wrote it like it only handles the first dash. It actually could work for all the dashes, but I don't know. So let's, all the tests passed. Okay. We have 16 passing test cases. We're gonna get rid of those ignored one of these shows. And then if I run the app, let's find out what happened. Let's find out the truth. Three, cursor in the right place. 4, 5, there it is. So it's not quite handling things fully, but that's pretty cool. We're really close, folks. You know, it's gonna take a few more hours. Can't predict how many, but I feel pretty good that we're close. All right, so catch you on the next show. Things we learned today. Before we run away, let's talk about the things we learned in today's show. What's all this? Here it is. Episode 47. We learned that is not equal to that. I held this up a little bit. After that, I don't think it was too. We must have been spending time coding. And thinking hard to get the code to work, which is going to happen whether you're doing TDD or not. So I only wrote one learning test, and that was about that. You know, and that does take time when we're trying to shoot this off in like a 1 hour show, and it always generally takes 2 hours. Any little thing like that will slow us down. Any miss. Okay, I can't think of anything else we learned. Refactoring makes your code look nicer, but I already knew that, but I don't always do it. When I'm on a 1 hour show that runs 2 hours. All right, folks, I will catch you later. I'm going to check this code in to GitHub on LancerKind. That's the username on GitHub. It's called text edit basic activity, maybe. I don't remember. Here, let's look it up. Go to GitHub. It is called Android SSN Textbox. All right, go there and get it. Or wait, pretty soon it'll be done. Check you later. I'm Xing out. David, X out. Come on, man.